Hello and welcome to the BSR Grand Tour. We have got 5 classes on offer for you today at Oulton Park. I am joined in the commentary booth by Sam Kuma, who's also on the cameras. And Sam, this is going to be a difficult circuit for these drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, hello everyone, and certainly, this is not one of those tracks that you would expect to see in this kind of basically endurance series, and I think you were saying that it is going to be a challenge, especially with the LMPs and the speed difference that you see between the classes. But looking at, we got about 21 drivers in the grid, so hopefully there will be enough room to just get by without any major incidents.
Yeah, hopefully. We've seen throughout the week in the official series that around some more circuits that you'd expect these cars to run at problems. So around here it's going to be very action-packed. I imagine we have got just 6 minutes of qualifying to go. We currently got Bart Daleman on pole position in the LMP1s and Colin Robinson on pole position for the GTEs. Could be a bit of an issue out there with the GT3 and GTE crossover, couldn't it?
Yeah, those two classes are just so close with the pace, and well, theoretically the GTE should be faster, but the GT3s, they are just about as fast on the straights, and if we had more Porsches, I think they would be also challenging, especially on the straights. So we'll see what happens. I think the GT3 and GTEs will be battling among each other there, while the LMPs should be running away easily.
Yeah, we saw last week at Kota quite a lot of class interaction. A couple of drivers haven't arrived for this race who we saw last time out. Ladzine Troitsky, I think, won a couple of rounds last week, but hasn't made the start today. But just looking at drivers putting in lap times, Mick Barry just putting in a lap there, who improves, but it's not quite enough to take pole position, stays in second position. Adam Borton Grant's currently first in GT3s, and then Roy Viverke in the lead in the Porsches, although he's the only one to have set a time.
Yeah, look at, I think we have Anthony Jacobson's Jacobson just about coming to complete his lap. He's currently last of the GT3s, so let's see if he can improve on his previous time of 1 minute 24. Oh, and he crashes just before the finish line. That's gotta hurt.
Not the way you would have wanted to end that lap. Just got just over a minute left until we'll be going to the start line.
Okay, looking at this, it seems like the LMPs are already completed with their laps, so that is going to be the order we are starting with them. We still have Mick Parry on hot lap, as well as John Watson, Max Wright, and Luke Clark, who comes here, completes his lap, but does not seem to improve. How about Mick Parry? No,
Yeah,
Mick is also coming in pits, yes.
Yeah, it's looking good in that GT3 class, I must say. Adam just about a second clear. It's a second difference between the top 5 in the GT3, so that should be an interesting battle, and with the GTs mixed in that as well. Could be really tight between those lot. I think that was just John Watson just coming across the line now, currently 11th overall, but he doesn't improve. Just a 23.2, half a second off his fastest time. I think that's pretty much everyone off. I think Kimberly Rogers just stopped out on track, but she'll be back into the pits, and we should be ready for the good now.
Okay, so grid on the screen, and on the pole position is Ralph. No, this is. Sorry, my grid is incorrect.
Okay,
Let's
I'll
try
go
that again.
But
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
In pole position, Ralph Cullinan in second, Ashley Beard third, Lee Deemer in fourth, and Rolf Just in fifth. That's the LMP1s for you. In the GTEs, it's Colin Robinson and Mick Barry taking the front row. But then in the GT3 pole sits Adam Borton Grant in 8th overall. That's followed by Carl Hardy in the GTE, Richard Warmingham in the GT3, followed by John Watson, Max Wright, Luke Clark, Jim Flanagan, and Scott Malcolm. Kim Ayers will be 17th overall, Kimberly Rogers just following him, Anthony Jacobson in 19th position, Roy Ververke in 20th. And I'm not sure if Adam McNally and Juice Nice will get onto the grid, but they are in 20th and 21st.
Right, so we are gridding here. About 45 minutes to go. We could quickly take a look at the standings, where Dalman is currently leading on the LMP1s with Cullinan and Lee Deemer second and third. In the GTEs, we have Vladislav Zayansky leading with 95 points. Ayers second with 75, and Colin Robinson third with 69 points. In the GT3s, well, we are starting already. We can take a look at those after the race.
Yes, not a long formation lap this. Bart Dillman comes round the penultimate corner, about 20 seconds away from the start. He's got to really bolt away, use that turbo, also use that energy recovery system to his advantage in that LMP1, just to make sure that he fends off the lead, because overtaking is going to be difficult around here. Let's see if Colin Robinson can hang on to that lead in the GTEs, and Richard Warmingham on the pole for the GT3s, just coming round the final corner, waiting for the green flag now is Bart Daleman. And away we go. Daleman away well. I think that's Ashley Beard just going into second place, is he? Yet that's a great start for Beard, although he's going to be challenged around the outside by Cullinan. And in fact, Cullinan's going to drop a further place, I think, down the hill. Yeah, he's down to 4th position. Colin Robinson's actually lost the lead to Mick Barry on this opening lap, so not a great start for him.
And same thing in the GT3s. Well, never mind. Adam Proton Grant just reclaimed the first place there from Richard Warringham, who was able to overtake him on the start, but just swapped the positions again.
Daleman already making himself a bit of a gap, but it's going to be so difficult in these LMP1s because the track is so narrow. They've got to push these cars to the absolute limit to make sure that they get all the downforce possible. And mistakes, I think, are going to be very possible, but it seems like a pretty clean start. I don't think there's really any damage to many cars. I think Luke Clark's got a little bit of nose damage, but that's pretty much seems to be about it.
Yeah, it's everyone was taking it easy and giving plenty of space there, although we did see a little bit of fighting and running off wide on the LMPs, but I think just the pace these LMP1s are able to run, they were just able to get away cleanly away from the rest of the pack, so that just opened the field to give some clean racing. And here we go. This is Jim Flanagan going on the inside of Richard Warringham. Warringham fighting very well here. And
Yeah,
he's
that was
able
great
to maintain
defense.
maintain his position, driving for the Borach team.
Yeah, it was very good defense from Richard. Just managed to hold it around the outside. The LMP1 still relatively close, about 3 seconds separate, or so 4 seconds separating the top 4. And really getting away in that class. And Mick Barry still under pressure. Oh, Colin Robinson's in the barrier then, so he's had enough. He was really challenging Mick Barry for the lead, but our pole sitter in the GTEs has had an awful couple of laps, and he's going to take a while to get back going.
Yeah, replay on the screen. Let's see what happened here. He comes to the keyhole. His hairpin here. Everything seems fine. Oh, just on the exit. Too much on the curb and loses the back end. But that should be fine. I don't think he has sustained any major damage. It was very soft impact.
Yeah, he should be able to carry on okay. I think there's just another car going off. Richard Warmingham side by side again, but he's just gone off the track, and that's given up the position to Luke Clark, and he's going to lose another place now to Max Wright, and Max goes straight through, so that's a couple of positions lost in a couple of corners for Richard Warmingham. We saw under pressure on the previous lap, but couldn't repel the attacks any further.
Still good battle.
Oh dear,
Oh!
John Watson.
Yes, just as I was saying, good battle here, but he really went off there. Let's see what happened there. Was it just too close, or... Trying to get a good view here. Let's see. Oh, it started all the way back here. A couple of corners early. He has some damage to the rear end. It seems like he just, yeah, lost control on the downhill, then slid back to the racing line and just unfortunate incident, really.
Yeah, he was a bit unlucky there, wasn't he? Because he couldn't really do much else. It wasn't his fault that they necessarily made contact behind, and just a general really unlucky incident for them all out there.
Yeah, just as soon as he lost the control on the downhill left-hander, it was just he was a passenger at that point.
Ashley Beard closing in gradually on Bart Daleman, because an important factor in these LMP1 cars is energy management. And if Ashley can just save a little bit of energy and deploy it down that back straight, ooh, he very nearly loses the car under braking. Just dipped a wheel onto the grass. He's still just 6/10 behind. But yeah, really putting the pressure on. But yeah, it's just going to be so difficult to overtake around here, and especially safely, because you really got to make sure that you got the space on this very narrow circuit to make the move.
Yes, but that can also work to your benefit with these cars because, let's say, you can afford to use up your energy for a pass, and then even if you don't have energy left for the rest of the half lap, oh, and they're coming across the lap traffic there, but no major problems. So yeah, even if you end up using your energy too early, it is fairly easy to defend because it's just so narrow and tight. But I think Ralph Danman is now responding to the pace and going a little bit away from Asp on these first sectors.
Yeah, I think Roy Viverko just lost Ashley a little bit of time. No fault of Roy there. He managed to get off the racing line well, and they're already coming up to the GTs. This is absolutely incredible pace. It's only a 1 minute 10 lap, and these cars are some 13, 14 seconds a lap faster. So you can imagine how many times they're going to be lapped in this 20-minute race. And Beard still playing on the pressure here, and this is going to be so difficult. They're just darting from one side
Oh,
to the other. Oh
we are
my...
on board with Delman.
Oh! Yeah, Dillman, big slide there. I think he may have made a little bit of contact, but he's coming through now. How many can he get before the corner? Just behind the GT3. And yeah, he's just about managed to get through there. Should be a little bit easier down here, although it is a slightly bent straight. And he's pulled out a little bit of a gap, but this is just survival right now for all these drivers.
Yeah, that was heart in your mouth moment there. So that's what we meant by this track not being the perhaps perfect for these cars. Again, no, don't go out the outside there, it's slippery. Manages to hold on to it. Yeah, especially like even with the LMPs, you do have the grip, but you also have to understand that the GT cars, they cannot really pick and choose their lines that easily. Oh, and Delman runs
Oh, he's
wide,
up that
and that
wide.
gives opportunity for Aspire to claim the first place.
And here comes Cullinan down the inside. He's got a bit more useful energy. It's Hacken and Schumacher. And Cullinan managed to go the right way down the inside. Used the traffic perfect there. And that is that mistake from Daleman has cost him a couple of positions. Can he fight back? He's right on Cullinan's tail. Hasn't really got the chance to make a move down here, but if he can just deploy the energy down the back straight, the top three so close together. Still Beard out in front, but they're still having to go through this traffic, and they're going to have to go through the traffic one more time, probably with a couple of minutes of the race to go. So it's so difficult for these drivers. We're bound to have an incident really at any moment.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what happened to Rob just because. That is Aspire really just. That was almost a little bit too impatient and. Did you see what happened there over the hill?
Yeah, very nearly made contact then. Now Lee Diemer getting involved in this, and he might stand a chance actually against Bart Delman. He deploys a bit of boost, gets alongside. He's going to be on the inside here, but you can take the outside line, and that's what Bart does. So just keeps that position, but so nearly makes contact with the Ferrari. Diemer saw an opportunity, he couldn't quite make it stick.
Well, if there's one thing that these guys will be happy about tonight is that due to circumstances, we won't be having the reverse grid for this
No.
track or this event. So hopefully it means that these guys can rest easy, but it doesn't seem like it. It's so hectic here.
We're paying a lot of attention to the LMP1s, but this is where the main battling is going on. And also these LMP1s, I think, are going to be the main source of action here with the dealing with the GT cars up there. A bit of a gap now for Beard, 2 seconds up the road. Got really lucky with a bit of traffic. And now that these LMP1s have got a bit of fresh air, he might be able to start bringing back that gap. But Beard looks pretty comfortable out in the lead.
Yeah, I was looking back at the GTEs, and we still have Mick Barry leading with David Ayres about 1.8 seconds behind him. Then we have the GTE of Adam Oron Grant, followed by Jim Flanagan about 3.3 seconds behind. So that's pretty mixed field with the GTEs and GT3s. And well, Roy Werke, he is the lonesome Porsche there, running 17th and leading his class.
Just looking at Luke Clark trying to make a... Oh, he's going to have a chance here. I think Luke Clark's going to make the move. Yep, straight past. What's that? Just seeing who that was, Richard Warmingham. So Warmingham losing another position. Clark straight through. I think Clark may have made an error a couple of laps ago because I think he was ahead of Warmingham earlier on, but he's got back into... that will be 6th place in the GT3s now. Oh, sorry, 4th place in the GT3s.
Yes, and at the same time we had Paul Dahlman overtaking Ralph Flanagan for the 2nd place.
Yeah, Dahlman was leading earlier on. He's actually led the most laps of anyone out there. He led the first 5 laps. And he will now go on the pursuit of Ashley Beard out in the lead. And I think they're just going back into traffic now. Beard makes the move on Roy Ververke. Ververke does well actually just to get just to keep his line and let those all those LMP1s past. In fact, that's Delman going into the lead. Yeah.
Yeah, that was surprisingly slow lap for Beard. I mean, he did lose about half a second with the flat traffic, but it seemed like he had no battery left, and Delman was just flying by.
Yeah, I wonder if, well, Delman seems to be okay. Let's see if he's used up all his energy on this lap and nearly behind. Oh, that's actually off the track now. That is Lee Diemer just going off the track behind. Just outbaked himself and very nearly went into the back of Beard. Managed to avoid him. But yeah, that's dropped him down to 4th place. Ralph Cullinan back up into 3rd.
And looking down at the field, what other battles we have, we still have the Clark and Warmingham battle going on, about 6 tenths between them. As they are also navigating with the LMPs, that is Rolf just coming to overtake them. Rolf just the only Audi driver here in the LMP class. I would have maybe expected a bit more Audi representation, but I guess the Porsche is just much more traditional in the way it drives.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people prefer the Porsche. I don't really have a preference myself. But, oh, actually, is that, I think that's Beard just going a little bit slowly. Yeah, it just seemed to be kind of half throttle for a little bit. Oh, and that's just behind Diemer going down the inside, not quite. Tried to make the move on Ralph Cullinan. Oh, and that's
Oh,
who's
that's
that?
Beard.
Beard,
Yeah,
yeah, Beard's offset. I think he's got an issue, hasn't he?
Let's see. Just trying to find out what happened there because that's quite unusual, let's say. He just ran wide. I can't really tell. It doesn't seem like he has any damage.
No, he just seemed to be going a little bit slowly earlier on in the lap, and I wonder if he did have an issue, and then just seemed to be a little bit slow getting away after that little off. But yeah, in P4 he's going to struggle to catch up to Cullinan and Dima, although they are fighting very hard. Dima just behind. I don't think he's going to stand a chance at the end of this straight, but yeah, the two of them having a good battle.
Yeah, the one thing about these cars is that they are very sensitive to any kind of damage. It doesn't have to be even like huge and visible impact or massive damage, but you will lose 1 second, 2 seconds, even 4 seconds per lap just from a small collision with the car of different class. So maybe he might have had small contact somewhere because even right now he is constantly dropping back.
Still Mick Barry leading the GTEs, followed by David Ayres, about 3 seconds between those two now. Adam Broughton Grant leading the GT3s very comfortably, 5 seconds ahead of Jim Flanagan. And then Luke Clark in third position, him and Richard Warmingham still having a good battle. That's pretty much the only GT battle going on. Scott Malcolm getting a little bit closer to Anthony Jacobson, but it's not really close enough to make a move anytime soon, I think. So yeah, it's just calming down in these GT3s, a few gaps forming. But
Yeah, I
with
think
the
we also had some issue for Max Wright. Just taking a look at what happened. Okay, towards the end of the lap he just went off, lost a few seconds, and that allows Anthony Jacobson to catch up.
So yeah, Wright dropping back into the clutches of Jacobson, and Malcolm's coming along as well. So he's got to make sure he keeps up his pace as Max. Right, it'll be interesting to see what this lap time is, because he's like you said, he made that little bit of an error, and he's lost quite a bit of time in the past few laps. Oh, actually, out in the lead, Cullinan's all of a sudden just closed right in on Bart Daleman, and yeah, he's going to fancy his chance there. That's still going through the traffic. Just past Adam Broughton Grant there, the leading GT3. And yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Cullinan's closed back up. He's got the boost, maybe not quite going to be close enough. Just gotta line up his move. He's overtaken. Oh, he's right on the down now. The traffic just helped him a little bit. Daleman not quite defending. But Cullinan can just apply a bit of boost here down the inside into the final corner, but again he's just a little bit too far off. Again traffic getting involved. And now using the boost up the hill, he's going to have the inside line. I think Cullinan down the inside. That's a really good move from him into the lead of the race.
Both of them running wide on the exit of turn 1. And it seems like they might have been a small bit of contact there as well. But didn't seem to slow them down at all. And I can also tell you that something has happened to Aspire. He went to the pits for repairs and let's see, hasn't returned, so he might have just retired for the race.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see, because he was having a really good race out there, was Ashley Beard. Really fighting with the top guy as well. And yeah, just looking back at it, I think, yeah, maybe he hit something, and I think maybe the damage was just a little bit too much for him to continue.
Yeah, I thought that he just pulled over, so possibly it was just too slow to really continue. Now the leaders are going by to lap our 4th place LMP Rob Just. So only 3 cars on a lead lap. That's Cullinan, Hellman and Deemer. With
Yeah, I think
2 minutes to go.
yeah, Rolf just went off the track, didn't he? So let him do. Delman still believes he can win this one. He's it seems like Cullinan has the match for him. I thought Delman was going to really pull away. He pulled about 3 seconds on Cullinan, but failed to. But then seemed to lose a couple of seconds in a lap, and it's really cost him. Oh no, that's Adam Borton Grant has gone back to the pits, so he's got an issue. The GT3 leader has had to return to the pits.
Oh, what has happened there? Was it the normal pit stop, or did he not have enough fuel?
His car wasn't damaged. He has a little bit of a half spin at the final corner, and then just comes into the pit. So yeah, I think he just ran out of fuel.
That's unexpected because I think it's the final
Oh,
race
and Jim
there.
Flanagan as well.
Oh, really?
They're all running out of fuel. So it's Luke Clark in the lead. Luke Clark and Richard Warmingham, that battle we were talking about earlier, is now the
Oh,
battle for the lead. So
that's right. We are on board with Jim Pelican. That is out of fuel, and he's gonna have a long way to the pits. If let's see, I don't think he is able to make it because there's still some uphills going on. And that is out of fuel for Flanagan.
yeah, bizarre that they'd misjudged the fuel. Oh, and the lead is 2 tenths in it. Is this the final lap?
Looking at it, it should be. We are hitting
Yeah.
the 20 minutes in 5 seconds, so the white flag should come out just about now. And yes, that is the checkers.
So Cullinan a little bit wide. Can Delman get him on the run to the line?
And they make a contact.
I think Delman got it, didn't he?
Yeah, Dalman got it.
Yeah, Delman got it by 12 one-thousandths of a second. He just had that little bit of extra energy to use, and it's
Oh, we have a battle
powered
for
him to the lead.
between Mick Barry and David Ayres as well.
Yeah, Ayres suddenly right on the tail of Mick Barry.
Oh,
Ayres
they
looking
make
to the
contact.
inside. Oh dear. Oh, they're both out. So it's going to be Carl Hardy. Can he catch them in time? Ayres is still going, but he's really
And it's the
slow.
two teammates. David Ayres, Mick Barry, Carl Hardy. They are all driving for results clothing.
And Carl Hardy, David Ayres think is going to win if he can hold on to the car. Here he comes across the line. And David Ayres is going to win the race. Just about holds off Carl Hardy in the end, who very nearly snatched an unlikely win. Richard Warmingham.
No, that's Luke Clark who wins the GT3s. And Warringham is second with Kimberly Rogers third. And Mick Barry, he cannot finish the race. He retires on the last lap.
Disappointing for Mick because he's looked comfortable out in the lead, but just in those final couple of laps, David Ayres managed to close the gap, and yeah, Adam Borton Grant, despite taking that final pit stop, still comes home in 4th place. But they're going to have to really think their fuel strategy for the next race.
Wow, what a dramatic finish on this race. And I cannot wait what the second race brings us. But let's go over the final results.
Bart Delman takes the race victory by 12 one-thousandths of a second over Ralph Cullinan. Lee Deemer just comes home in 3rd place. Good drive from him. Rolf Just, we didn't see too much of him, ends up a lap down in 4th. David Ayres in the leading GTE, an unlikely win with just a lap to go. Carl Hardy second in that class. Luke Clark finishes top of the GT3s. Richard Warmingham in 2nd. They still had a great battle. Kimberly Rogers picks up the pieces to take home 3rd. Adam Borton Grant had to pit with a lap to go just to get across the line on fuel. He finishes 4th. Max Wright in 5th. Mick Barry, the 3rd place GTE with that accident near the end. Anthony Jacobson in 6th in the GT3s. Roy Viverke, the only Porsche out there, in 14th overall. And Jim Flanagan and Scott Malcolm and John Watson rounding up the GT3s. Ashley Beard had an issue near the end, So he finishes 5th in the LMP1s and Colin Robinson in 4th in the GTEs. Next up is a 20-minute race. Have we got a spinner, Sam?
No, for tonight we don't have reverse grid wheels because the way the sessions have been set up, so it will be very straightforward. And yeah, catch us in the next race. We will be back very shortly.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the BSR IMSA World Tour. This is race 2 of round 2 here at Oulton Park. Race 1 was really action-packed in all classes, plenty of incidents, and I think this race 2 is going to be very similar. I'm alongside Sam Kumo once again, who's also on the cameras, and yeah, Sam, that was a really entertaining race. I think the lead changed in every class on the last lap.
Yeah, it was surprisingly entertaining, to be honest. I wasn't expecting this track to provide such a good racing. And I think the only class where the lead didn't change was in the Porsche Cup, where Roy Verke was the one and only running Porsche there at the end. But other than that, like the LMPs, the battle was just constantly going on. Same for the GTEs and GT3s. And we also saw that massive mess with the results clothing drivers in their Ferraris in the last lap.
Yeah, that was just running out of fuel, didn't they? With a couple of or with a lap to go, it was quite painful to watch. We seem to have lost a few drivers. We're down to 15 in this session when we should really have about 21. I think was in the first race. 19, I think, took the start. So not quite sure who hasn't made this one. I think a couple of GT3s haven't quite made it.
Yeah, it's the I think it's the GTEs that we are missing, as well as Asbeard from the LMP. And I think it was who was the second Porsche Cup driver aside from Roy Verke?
I think
Right
Verke was the only one to take the start, actually.
Yeah, but I think didn't someone join the session but did not take the start. I don't exactly remember who it was, but would be nice to have some company for Roy.
Yeah, we saw actually some really good.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be a long race for him.
Yeah, we saw some good batsing in the Porsche at Kota. Can't quite remember who the two drivers were, but there were only the two of them, and I think we spent half the time watching them because they were just fighting one another so much. Grid is being set on pole position. It's a bit of a random grid, I think, is this one. Bart Daleman on the pole, Roy Verke in the Porsche in second, Luke Clark third in the GT3, David Ayres fourth in the GTEs, and then it's Richard Warmingham, Ralph Cullinan, Carl Hardy, Lee Deemer, Kimberly Rogers, Mick Barry, Colin Robinson, Adam Borton Grant, Rolf Just, Max Wright, and Anthony Jacobson. And a slightly weird formation lap here. I think Roy Verke has he? I'm not sure if Roy's actually made the start.
I think we are having some problems because I'm only seeing 3 cars.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Yeah, no Bart Daleman. So
okay, you know what? I've been just informed that we may have a new session.
Okay, yep. So we'll hop into that. We will see you again in a couple of minutes once we've joined that one. Welcome back to the BSR IMSA World Series.
No, it's a Grand
Tour,
Tour.
Grand Tour,
Grand Tour,
sorry.
yeah.
We are here for the second race of round 2. Also our second attempt at this second race after the couple of server issues. But we are back, and hopefully this one will go a bit smoother. I think we've got the 20 drivers again, so we've got everyone in this session, seemingly no issues. I'm joined alongside Sam Kuma, who's also on the cameras. Sam, I'll kind of ask the same questions earlier on. Really good race last time.
Yeah, really good race. Yeah, really
really
good race,
action
and
packed.
very action-packed, and like we said previously, just good battles going on with the LMPs, also with the GTEs, GT3s, and well, Roy did his best in the Porsche and was able to get the win. But yeah, I'm looking at, we have 18 drivers, so we are missing 3 drivers from previous race, but I think 1 or 2 those were non-starters. So let's see, who are we missing? I think we are missing 1 LMP. And I think that's Aspier who we are missing still. He got half a minute to go, so I don't know if he can make it.
Yeah, actually was leading the first race at one point, but just a couple of things went against him, and he ended up did he crash in the end, or did he just finish in P3, I think? And yeah, it wasn't a perfect race for him, and he don't seem to be joining us for the second one. But those 7P1s last time were so evenly matched. I think it's going to be really tight between those 3. And it's just so difficult with the traffic around here, isn't it? It was so intense when we went on board with Bart Delman early on.
Yeah, and I don't blame you for forgetting what happened in the previous race, because it was just so chaotic on the last lap. We had people running out of fuel, we have top 3 crashing each other's, and then the battles in the LMP. So I think if we can have more of that, it's gonna be a great evening.
We've got the same grid as in the previous server. Bart Delman is on pole position, Roy Verke in the Porsche in second, Luke Clark in the GT3 in third, and David Ayres in the GTE in fourth, Richard Warmingham in fifth, Ralph Cullinan in sixth, Carl Hardy in seventh, Lee Deemer eighth, Kimberly Rogers ninth, Mick Barry in 10th, and then Colin Robinson, Adam Broughton Grant, Rolf Just, Max Wright, Anthony Jacobson, Jim Flanagan, Scott Malcolm, and John Watson in 18th position, rounding out the field. Should be getting away anytime soon, but this, I'm not quite sure what this grid is. I guess it's just a random grid. It could cause a lot of issues, because with the likes of Lee Deemer and Ralph Cullinan in 6th and 8th position, they've got to make their way through the field straight away on that opening lap.
Yeah, we'll see, like, especially because you have now these GTEs in front of you, so these might get tricky. Let's see.
So Bart Delman will lead them round. He's got a big advantage being on pole position. He really needs to make sure that he builds that lead. Roy Verke, I think, is going to be quite lenient out there. In fact, Roy Verke starting from the pits, that's probably a sensible thing to do, because he's just going to get swallowed up if he did stay out. That means Luke Clark inherits second position, and Bart Delman's going to floor it any second now. And here he goes, green flag, gets away well. LMP1 straight away trying to get through. That's Ralph Cullinan and Lee Deemer already up into second and third. Side by side just behind the GT3s and GTEs fighting one another. But once again, it seems like a pretty clean start. Rolf just is going to have to try to make his way up through the field as well. But yeah, it seems to be a pretty clean start once again.
Yeah, very clean start, and just have to wait for Rob just to make it through this battle match here. Position changing, what happened to Mick Barry, just running a little bit wide there. David Ayres currently in the lead for GTE. Beat Mick Barry second, Luke Clark leading the GT3s. And that is Carl Hardy coming through there for the third place in the GTEs.
and Richard Warmingham looking maybe for a move on. Carl Hardy is in a slower car as Richard. And that's actually a Ferrari just off the track, just ahead. I think that's Luke Clark, and now he's side by side, trying to get past Mick Barry. Oh, a little bit of contact, I think. Oh, and we've got a couple of Ferraris off. Are they going to come back on the track? Fortunately not, but that's their race over, I think.
Yeah, that was Carl Hardy and Mick Barry, both for the GTEs and teammates driving for results clothing. So this is kind of repeat what we saw at the end of the previous race.
Yeah, pretty incredible that's happened once again. Yeah, those two need to make sure that they get some points on the board next time in the next race because, yeah, not a good day for either of them at all. Richard Warmingham just down the inside. Rolf just still trying to get his way through the pack. I think he's just about done so. He's got a couple more cars to go. And now we've got side by side in the GT3, Richard Warmingham just holding back Kimberly Rogers. But these GT3s just so evenly matched. It's a class that you can guarantee is going to produce a good battle. And they're all following each other very closely right now.
Yeah, small look up from Birmingham. Didn't really cause too much trouble there, but Kimberly Rogers was able to close it just slightly. Rogers looking to the inside line, but not quite close enough just yet.
Colin Robinson needs to try to get through these drives, although he's already going to be a long way off David Ayres, who won the first GTE race, I believe, and looks very strong to take the second one. Rolf just nearly passed him as well, but these GT3s just so close. Adam Borton Grant had to pit with a lap to go. He's kind of near the tail of this GT3 pack, but we know he's probably the fastest GT3 out there today. And it'll be interesting to see how he makes his progress up through the field. He's got Colin Robinson just ahead, who's in the GTE, which is a faster class. So he's going to really struggle to make any progress until Robinson starts to gain some positions.
Yes, and with the GT3s, oh, and that is a collision. Big hit, that's Max Wright, Scott Malcolm, and Jacobson.
And Adam as well.
Yeah, Adam. I think Adam got the worst of it, really.
Same thing in that corner, just a driver kind of getting a bit of a slide on. Just, yeah, holds up everyone behind and causes mayhem.
Yeah, that was the Audi R8 for was Max Wright. Yeah, Max Wright got just a little bit loose on the corner, had to slow down, and it just really stumbled on from there for everyone else. But we do have, we have a battle for the GT3 lead here.
Yeah, Kimberly just looking to the inside, having to go defensive as Richard Warmingham, but Kimberly still has a chance, not quite for that Mercedes car. Just having to sit in behind, but Luke Clark and Richard Warmingham had a brilliant battle earlier on. I think it was Luke Clark who ended up on top. So he'll bound to be a little bit confident, but those two are so evenly matched. And if anything, I'd say Kimberly probably looks the strongest out of these three. Really closed up right now. And yeah, it's just so difficult to make the move out here, like I said earlier. Just not really many major braking zones either. So you got to be so confident on the to make the move.
And I'm looking at the lap times, and they are fairly close, but previous lap Kimberly was 4 tenths faster in the final sector. So we'll see. It seems like this is going to be a good battle for now.
Closing, but just settles in behind and just a little bit wide there for Warmingham, and it's going to open up the gap for Kimberly. Very close between the two of them, and Kimberly's going to make the move. Just waited for the air. Was a little bit early on the brakes there, was Kimberly, perhaps predicting that little bit of an air from Richard, and Kimberly up into second place, looking good out there.
And meanwhile in the LMP1s we do have Dalman still leading, and he has opened quite sizable 4.5 second gap to Ralph Collingham. And the lead Emer is third, 7 seconds behind our leader. So it seems like gaps are really growing this second race compared to the first race where they just weren't able to run away from each other. And what has happened to Jim Flanagan?
Yeah,
He's
he just
off.
lost the rear, didn't he? Oh, he's off again. Oh, and that's just the place you do not want to do that, because once you dip a wheel onto the grass, you're sending yourself miles away from the circuit, and that's a couple of terrible corners for Jim Flanagan in the Team Mad car.
And look who's
Yeah,
coming through. That is Dahlman and Cullinan
yeah,
already lapping these guys.
yeah, we expect the LMP1s to lap the GTs 2 times, probably 3 times to be fair, in a 17 lap race. We're going to have them lap the GTs 3 times. So just so difficult. Lapping each individual car is a different challenge, especially around here. But to go through what will be about 35 cars in the end for these LMP1s, it's going to be incredibly difficult for them.
Yeah, at least like on this race they don't have to really worry about like slowing down and losing the position, because there's a about 4 seconds gap minimum between each other, with the road just about 45 seconds behind Dahlman. So this time it might be a bit easier for these guys, and maybe even for the GTE and GT3 drivers, because the LMPs won't be so rushed as we are on board with Dahlman, and that was again very close to the back end of that Ferrari.
Yeah, super close for Daleman. Just Cullinan also just overtook the 2 GT3 leaders, and Rogers close again. Oh, they got another LMP1 coming through. Leave room. Oh, and these are having to go to the other side. That was so close there. Rogers just sitting in behind still. No chance of the move on Clark this time round. At the end of the back straight, Clark a little bit wide, and this is where Rogers made the move last time. Round the outside, gonna have the inside for the next corner. It's going to be difficult on the curb there, nearly made contact, but Rogers got ahead. That's a really good move from Rogers, once again picking up on the small braking error there from the opponent, and Rogers up into the lead.
Yeah, that's a brave move over the hill on the outside, especially with these cars that don't really have the downforce to hold it in. So you really have to trust the other driver to just give you enough space and being able to just stay in control. And also behind that there seems to be a battle between, is that Colin Watson and John Watson and Colin Robinson. Different classes, but they are battling nonetheless.
Yeah, Robinson really struggling to make the move out there. I think it's just because just maybe doesn't quite have the advantage he needs. Probably only 2 seconds a lap difference between these 2 classes. So, and down the straights, the GTEs are barely any faster. It's mainly through the corners, and just can't quite pull ahead down the straights right now. And in fact, actually, I think Jordan Watson's got excellent pace, really closing in on these top 3. On that last lap, he was 1.5 seconds faster than Kimberly Rogers in the lead. So this is going to be very quickly a 4-way battle. And I think John Watson certainly got the pace potentially to win the race.
Yeah, and look at the times also. Colin Robinson, it might be he has a little bit of damage to the back end of his car, but I don't think it would really hurt his pace that much. So maybe he sees the situation, okay, he is 10 seconds behind David Ayres, and realistically he is not going to catch up that gap, especially with the pace that Ayres is running. So maybe he's just biding his time and looking for any kind of maybe something happens to Ayres, but it doesn't really make sense for him to take huge risk at this point.
Yeah, it'd be disappointing if he ruined this GT3 battle, because it's really on a knife edge right now. Watson just cruising up to the back of these guys. He's so confident out there, just really leaning on the outside tyres through all these corners, taking a couple of different lines, but really just carrying a lot more speed than the 3 ahead of him. And yeah, a little bit of a lock up there from Warmingham. Watson closing, and a little bit wide again from Warmingham. That's going to just slightly hurt his exit. And Bart Delman, has he got an issue out there? No, sorry, my time screen just went a little bit funny. But yeah, back to Watson, just yeah, following, 3/10 behind. Not quite the chance this time round, but he's got to get these moves done quickly if he's going to beat Kimberly, because Kimberly's got a nice little lead now.
And we'll get behind them. Well, there's Scott Malcolm, Jim Flanagan, Max Wright. Although the gaps between these guys have started to open up, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any battles in the back half of the field. But this might be the main battle that we will be focusing on in this race. This lead battle for the GT3s between Rogers, Clark, Birmingham and Watson. What happens to Watson? Oh, he just disappeared on my time screens. I thought he had some issue.
Yeah, I think it's just when they cross the line, it seems like both of our timing screens, I think, are just having some issues. But Watson, again with that wide line there, trying to get the good exit to just close in down here. It's all about where you're fast around this circuit. Just need to absolutely really close up for the back straight. But really, so far today, even Kimberly's moves earlier on, there were kind of more errors from Clark and Warming, which opened up the move. It was still a great move from Rogers, but I think that's what Watson's going to have to rely on. Warming just to run a little bit wide and invite Watson to attack.
Yeah, and we can see those small mistakes happening constantly with Birmingham. So maybe he's feeling the pressure from Watson, and this might be the opportunity that Watson just has to wait, get a good run. Again, Birmingham running very wide and even on the grass.
Yeah, next lap, Bart Daleman will be coming through this lot, and Ralph Cullinan might join them as well. I think this time is Robinson going to go for the move on Watson. This isn't for position, but once again, just slots in behind. Probably the sensible thing to do. He really doesn't want to ruin this battle. He's not really going to gain that much time by overtaking, so good driving there from Robinson. He realises that this is a really good battle and he doesn't want to ruin it whatsoever. Top 4 still very close. Rogers 1.2 seconds clear now at the front of this GT3 battle. And yeah, looking probably the favourite to win this one, but I think the 3 behind Kimberly are all very competitive.
And also passed the lap of the race for Garman this time around, so despite his gap, he is still not slowing down, over second faster than Cullinan. I think we might have Dalman coming through this battle pack here any moment now.
Yeah, Dalman just a couple of seconds behind now. Gonna catch up to Robinson first. Here he goes on the outside. You just don't get any easy moves down here, do you? Every single time. You're right on the edge. Oh, and that was just Robinson just going a little bit off the track. But Delman just can he get the move done here? Should be a little bit easier. And he might even get Luke Clark going into turn 1. So that's worked out pretty well for him. Really hasn't affected those GT3s at all. Rolf Just is going to be a little bit more difficult, but just leaves a little bit of gap there. And in the end, I think Delman's got all the way through those cars. So really efficient driving there from Bart Delman.
Yeah, that was very clean overtakes there and no issues. And it seemed like Rolf just even just waited and let him pass. Oh, gets a little bit squirrely here, but is able to maintain control. But what
John
this
Watson's...
has caused is this has caused the gaps to open up, so we no longer have this battle for the GT3 lead. I think the closest one we have is between Clark and Birmingham.
Yeah, Jim Flanagan and Scott Malcolm just starting to close in between those two. Still not quite a battle yet. Those two are running in 5th and 6th in GT2s, but Flanagan just making up a little bit of time. Closed in that gap by a few seconds in the past few laps. But yeah, not quite a battle now. 2.5 seconds between the two of them. And yeah, the top 4 now over a second between each of them. So just calm down for a little bit. But we saw earlier John Watson cruise up to the back of those lot. I wonder if he's got the pace still to close back that gap.
Looking at this, the time misses I think he has. Watson, well, his last sector was not so great the previous time by losing almost 4 tenths to 1.5. But currently he seems to be running pretty much on the same pace. Few tenths faster on the third sector. But it is very close between these guys, and that's...
Oh, Lee Diemer.
Oh,
Sorry. Lee
what happened?
Diemer's had a bit of an off. Just gone straight on. Oh, he was trying to get past the GT3 was Lee Diemer. It was Luke Clark who he was trying to make the move on, and yeah, just went into the gravel. Did well not to make contact. But hasn't been a great race for Lee Diemer. He was fighting for the lead earlier on in the first race, but gonna have to settle for P3 in this one.
Yes, fortunately he has a sizable gap to Rolf Just, so that shouldn't really matter too much. It seems like he just got caught up by the approaching speed and just couldn't get the car slowed down.
Jim Flanagan
yeah.
now within a second of Scott Malcolm. I said that this battle was perhaps brewing a little bit. And Flanagan looking good out there. He had good pace in the first race, did Flanagan. I think he...
Wait, we
can't
have
quite
a
remember
change for
what
lead.
position he got.
Change for lead in the LMP. What about there with the Dalman? Is it exactly the same that happened to Diemer?
Oh, yeah. Literally identical, really. Oh, yeah, he just dipped a wheel on the gas and into the tyre barrier. Delman driving so well. Looked like he was going to get a second victory of the day. But he's going to really struggle to make up that gap now.
Yes, especially with the sensitivity of these cars. That might really hurt his lap time, because that was some impact, and I think that's Car Hardy going off the track with his Ferrari on the second to last corner. Let's see Dalman's sector times. Is he able to match Cullinan, who is still, I believe, with perfect car?
Oh, Flanagan now right on the tail of Malcolm.
Dalman
Yeah,
again running wide.
Yeah, maybe he's just over pushing a little bit.
No, I think that's definitely damage, because Cullinan is just gaining a huge amount of time over Dalman, and let's see when we get to sector 1. I don't exactly remember where the sector times are here, but yeah, sector 4 he lost 4 tenths. Sector 2 he was losing 3 tenths. Sector 5 that was almost second, even with Cullinan with his like worst sector 5 so far.
Yeah, Delman perhaps just not giving up the fight, but doesn't believe he can make up the gap. A lot slower on that lap, yeah. 2.5 seconds slower than the race leader there. And seems like that battle's about over. Oh, I think we've got a... Oh, David Ayres! David Ayres has got an issue. I think he's got back up to speed.
No, he just lost control on the... Which one was it? That was turn 7.
He was so confident or so comfortable in the lead, and we were talking earlier how Colin Robinson doesn't have to do too much, and he's just got to rely on Ayres to have an issue. And yeah, just can't count on any of the leaders to bring it home today. And Robinson, all of a sudden, just 2 seconds behind, you'll be able to see Ayres just in the distance, and now Robinson, who's spent this entire race behind John Watson, needs to try to close the gap. But I think it's Ralph Cullinan now.
Yeah, that's still 2 seconds, and this is the last lap, and Cullinan just comes across the finish line, winning this second race. And Dalman is able to make it to the finish, comes across second, and I believe we have Diemer coming through before anyone else.
Yeah, just coming up to the final corner now. It's Lee Diemer. Hasn't been as good a race as the opener for him, but with that little bit of an error, but it's still solid points on the board for Lee Diemer, and I think he'll fancy his chances in the next race. Luke Clark trailing Kimberly Rogers by a couple of seconds still. Don't think it's going to happen for Luke Clark. But Kimberly Rogers driving really well out there. Coming up to the final corner. Had to make the overtakes to Kimberly to win this one. And they absolutely did. So up to the line now comes Kimberly to win the GT3s. Luke Clark in second. David Ayres will win the GTEs. He'll be very glad about that after that small error at the end of the race. John Watson in third in the GT3s. Jim Flanagan got ahead of Scott Malcolm in the end. So Jim Flanagan managed to get past Scott Malcolm and got fourth position in the GT3s. That was another good race, wasn't it?
And we
think
also have
Roy Verke-
Roy Verke. Roy
Yeah.
Verke comes through and wins his class in the 78th overall.
Yeah, really good battling there from the GT3s. I thought the mixed grid may be a bit of an issue, but I think it really did set up those GT3s well with all of them very equal pace, and Kimberly did really well just to pick off one after the other to eventually get into the lead and bring it home comfortably from them.
Yeah, that was a good battles there, and where in the first race we had good battles with the LMPs. This time around we had great battles in the GT3s and GTEs really. So kinda excited to see what the third race brings. Because in third race it is longer, it is mandatory pit stop, and I believe we might have some adjustments with the regulations. I believe the Porsche of Roy Verke will have to take a little bit more fuel for that race, but it shouldn't be an issue. So let's see if we can get the results on the screen. And yes, it works.
I guess Ralph Cullinan takes home the race victory in the LMP ones, but Daleman, with that error with a few laps to go, comes home in second. Lee Deemer in third, and Rolf just another fourth position for him. Kimberly Rogers wins the GT3s. Luke Clark in second place. David Ayres wins the GTEs. Richard Warmingham third in the GT3s. John Watson fourth in the GT3s. Colin Robinson really got just stuck behind John Watson in the end for that entire race in his Ferrari GTE. Comes home in second in that class. Jim Flanagan managed to get past Scott Malcolm late on. And then Anthony Jacobson and Max Wright in 7th and 8th in that class. Carl Hardy and Mick Ray rounding out the GTEs. They had a collision in the opening couple of laps and that really ruined their race. Roy Verke, the only Porsche out there, and Adam Broughton Grant got taken out, or it was in a race-ending incident a few laps in, and he rounds out the grid in 18th position. We will be back in 15 minutes for the final race of the day, for a extended race like Sam said a few minutes ago. So see you then.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back for the final race of round 2 of the BSR IMSA Grand Tour. So far today we've had 2 excellent races. First race, brilliant battle in the LMP ones. Second race, brilliant battle in the GT3s. We wait to see what will happen in this 35-minute long race. I'm joined by Sam Kumate. And Sam, that last race, really good battle in the GT3s like I just said. Should be about the same with this mixed up grid once again.
Yeah, it should be good battles, and this one is longer than the previous race, and all the drivers will have mandatory pit stops because the fuel has been limited. So we'll see what happens there. And yeah, I can again see that we have LMP1s mixed in with the GT3s and GTEs in the grid. So let's hope we get another clean race, because we want to keep these cars on the track.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to see them all fighting one another. The grid out there, Roy Viverke is put on pole position. However, I think he's going to start from the pits, which is a sensible thing to do, seeing he's in the slowest class up there. So it'll be Ralph Cullinan on pole position for overall and the LMP1s. Kimberly Rogers in second, David Ayres third, Colin Robinson fourth, Bart Delman in fifth. And just find them Luke Clark, Richard Warmingham, Lee Deemer, Carl Hardy, John Watson, just Mick Barry, Jim Flanagan, Scott Malcolm, Anthony Jacobson, Max Wright, and Adam Broughton Grant. So just coming round to the final corner, we've seen 2 clean starts so far, which are things we did not necessarily expect. Once again, the LMP1s are going to have to make their way through the field, so watch out for Bart Delman starting on the 3rd row, I believe, and Ralph Cullinan just waiting to put the pedal to the metal. And here we go. Green flag, gets a little bit of a slow start there. Straight through comes Bart Delman. How's Lee Deemer getting on? Lee Deemer into 4th already. And Rolf Just also making his way through. Once again, clean first corner.
Yeah, Rolf just got a bit held up there, and we are going through this troublesome corner, and it seems like everyone is making through. I'm just surprised that the Rolf just is hanging back so far from the rest of the LMPs. It seems like he is waiting for the Colin Robinson. Well, Colin Robinson makes the way to the green fields and hits the barrier. Yeah. And that looks severely damaged. I don't think he's going to continue with that car.
No, disappointing for him. Hope to see him back next week. And yeah, not sure if we get a faster pair in this race. Yes, we do. So he will need a tow back to the pits, however. And in the lead, Ralph Cullinan, just ahead of Bart Delman. Bart with the error in that last race, and he goes for the inside now down the pit straight. He seems to have the energy, and yes, he does. So Bart Delman into the lead once again. Won first race, second in the second race, and looks strong here, but a long way to go for these LMP1s.
Exactly, long way, and I think they just are sizing each other up and seeing what kind of strategy they have. The fuel load does have quite an effect on this car, so we'll see, do they all start with the fuel tank? I would expect so, but you never know really.
Currently in the lead of the GT3s, once again, Kimberly Rogers, really good start. Well, in fact, started P3, currently running in P4, but yeah, really good start once again, winner of race 2. But David Ayres just behind in the GTE, and he's going to want to make that move quite soon because doesn't want to lose any more time than necessary. Max Wright, Jim Flanagan and Adam Broughton Grant really close down the back straight. Not quite a move this time round, it seems. But oh, wide there. That was well, it was both of them there. Max Wright really wide. I think, did he hit the wall actually? Not quite. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he might have.
hit the
Let's
wall
see.
hard then.
Yeah, let's see it on the screen. He's running wide there.
Oh, and he's round again.
Yeah, that seems severely damaged that car. So I don't know if he can continue or is he forced to make a pit stop for the repairs.
Bart Delman has lost the lead. After taking the lead a couple of laps ago, sorry, on the last lap, he's made an error out there and yeah, dropped back behind his Ralph Cullinan. And in fact, actually, I think it was a clean move from Cullinan. So Cullinan showing he's got the pace to fight for the win here. and looking strong, only half second ahead of Delman still.
Yeah, close battle here, and I can also tell you that Oulton Grant also had some issues there the previous lap, but seems to be able to continue. And what happens to Richard Warmingham? Not much, just battles going on here. Getting overtaken by Mick Barry in the faster GTE. So no huge problem there, but our two and only GTEs running are at least having a good battle here with David Ayres and Mick Barry.
Yeah, David Ayres kind of needs to make the move on Kimberly Rogers right now because his teammate are these two teammates? David
yes,
and
they are both driving
yeah.
for result voting.
Yeah, so kind of needs to make the move right now, and there he goes. Does Mick Barry straight pass? So that was an important move, and now it's now can chase down his teammate David Ayres.
And we have Kimberly Rogers. She is a privateer, but I think many of the teams will be looking at that performance and seeing that, okay, maybe we need to hire that one. Hire that one. Let's see. We also have John Watson. I was just saying that.
Yeah, John Watson and Richard Warmingham. These two have been inseparable all day, and Watson once again following Richard. I think John's beaten Richard in the past couple of races, so John will be wanting to get one over him. But they have been very evenly matched all throughout today. Kimberly Rogers just getting overtaken by David Ayres. David, of course, in the GTE. So, yeah, next up is Mick Barry just behind. But, yeah, Kimberly's still looking strong out there. Oh, and move for the lead, perhaps. Bart Delman right on the tail now of Ralph Cullinan. These two have been really close for a few laps. And has Delman got any extra usable energy? Really close to the Mercedes. Can he look to the inside? There's just no space there. But now needs to use all the boost he can up to the line. But Cullinan, comfortable that time. I think he just had a little bit more energy to spare right at the end of that lap, and it saved him a little bit from the potential overtake.
Yeah, I think what happened there was Delman, he was preparing his overtake just as Cullinan had to move over to overtake GTE Ferrari. So he just had to back out of it and used up his boost for that lap. And who's that? We have someone with a terrible connection there.
Oh, Jim Flanagan is on his roof.
That might be him who had the terrible connection.
Yeah, because he went. Oh, yeah, yeah. His connection was really poor. I wonder if that caused or was an impact in the in his crash. I think he's gone back to the pits now. Gets a fast repair, but hopefully we'll see him back out on track.
Still this battle. Oh, Dalman very close there.
Yeah, Delman actually ahead of Cullinan now, so Delman managed to get the lead again.
And that's a crash behind them. That's Mick Barry and
John Watson.
John Watson is able to continue, but what about Barry? Barry is still there, but he's in a tough position because that's very fast corner, and can he turn it around?
That was a very unnecessary incident, really. The two of them just not leaving each other enough room. Perhaps it was, it may have been Barry perhaps just coming across on Watson, but they'll be annoyed with each other for that one because they weren't properly racing each other, and they've gone into the wall, the pair of them.
Yeah, there was really no reason for Mick Barry to fight too hard about it because he was the second running GTE, and really that was where he was going to end up unless David Ayres had some major issues.
Cullinan still right on the tail of Delman. Delman just got held up a little bit by the traffic. Lee Diemer also in this battle, but 5.5 seconds behind. Gonna need to Hope that these two fight a little bit longer, or perhaps have something up his sleeve on the strategy. He's going to really challenge these two. We had a terrific race in the first event today, with 4 LMP1s fighting for the lead. But yeah, certainly 3 of them still looking strong come the end of this one.
Yeah, previous time by Lee Deemer was much faster than these two guys, but it seems to be just a factor of traffic, and now they are running pretty even pace here.
In the GT3s, Richard Warmingham, now 5 seconds behind Kimberly Rogers. Rogers just driving off into the distance. I think got a little bit lucky with the GTEs. I think just where Kimberly started, I think that just helped Kimberly a little bit to extend the lead. But full credit, really a class above everyone else I think out there. John Watson, despite that big incident, still running in 3rd position, but some 12 seconds off the lead. So really spread out now are the GT3s, apart from Max Wright and Anthony Jacobson, with just a second between them. Wright just trying to come back at Jacobson a second lap fast on that last time by.
Yes, McBride also carrying that damaged Ford, sorry, Audi, and that might be affecting his lap times. I don't know. He might not have the pace to really challenge for the lead here. Andre Jacobson, he is running pretty nicely here. They're just making some room for a rope just here.
Side by side for the LMP1s, and Delman back into the lead. Delman lost it again. Not quite sure where he lost it, but he's got it back again. Just using the battery just to get back past Ralph Cullinan. But can Cullinan overtake at the end of this one? They're just coming up to Roy Verke, the only Porsche out there. And all of a sudden, Delman with a really nice lead over Cullinan. A second. And perhaps just had a little bit more energy available on that last lap, which has really helped him to take a commanding position now.
Yeah, that was definitely, he was deploying the energy in the Sector 6, which was fastest of the race and half a second faster than the corner. So that is definitely the deployment there. Looking at the lap times of Lee Deemer, he's not really catching up. 1 minute 10.9 was his previous time, about the same with Dalman and Cullinan.
Yeah, I think
Kimberly
Deemer had a
Rogers, what
poor
happens
lap.
to here? He went off the track.
So who was that? Kimberly Rogers?
Yeah, oh, it was just small, running wide on turn 1, nothing major here. But just shows you that you need to stay concentrated.
Yeah, we saw that in the previous race with David Ayres making an error. Mick Barry, what happened to Barry? Did we see that incident? Because he was running in 2nd place, wasn't he?
Let's see, he has gone to the pits. I'm trying to see if we have... I might have found it, let's see. No, Mick Barry, he came together with...
Yeah, down at turn 1,
yeah,
wasn't it? With,
yeah, with
John Watson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the reason why he's so far down. 3rd place in the GTEs, just behind Carl Hardy, both of which I think have had to have toes. And that means that there are only 10 seconds between them on track. So hopefully we'll see some good battling there. But they're a long, long, long way behind David Ayres, leader of that GTE class.
Yeah, and importantly, Mick Barry, he ever had basically solid 2nd place before that moment, and now he's 3rd, and I think he is maybe going to retire.
Yep, looks that way.
He is 4 seconds slower than Hardy, so that might be his race over. I mean, it's not like he's going to lose any positions because Colin Robinson is the last running GTE, and he has parked it on the first lap.
Oh, Barry back out again though. So he's seemingly keeping on going. Don't know what that pit stop was about. Maybe it was just for a bit of fuel to get to the end of the race. But yeah, back out of the pits, and good to see Barry, Mick Barry stay out there and try to salvage whatever he can, because as we've seen throughout this event, even the leaders have made several errors. So and with the LMP1s constantly racing past, still an opportunity for an instant up ahead.
And we just had a pass for 11th place between Malcolm and Jacobson. Malcolm makes a move, clean move here through turn 4, and no major issues there.
Yeah, that was almost as though Scott just let Anthony Beck pass there. Not sure what that was about, but Malcolm now really close. Might go side by side here. This would be a really ambitious move, and past goes Anthony. Sorry, past goes Scott past Anthony, and yeah, I think Malcolm's just got a bit of an upper hand on the pace. I think Jacobson made an error on that last lap, which invited Malcolm to attack, but still he comes back. Does Jacobson got the toe down the pit straight? Will look to the inside. I think no, not quite. Just sticking in behind, and through this part of the track, it's pretty much impossible to overtake.
Yes, and we also had Lee Deemer coming in for his pit stop. I believe it was just normal pit stop, nothing unscheduled. Just getting fuel and back out on the track.
Cullinan now 4.5 seconds off Bart Daleman. Still in range, but yeah, gonna need to really nail every lap from now to the end. He was 0.3 slow on that lap, so I think it's just been the traffic. I think on pure pace, I think they're very similar, but on traffic, they've just been able to split apart, and on that lap, lost 2 seconds. So that must have been either an error or got very unlucky with the traffic. I think he might do the same here. Will Cullinan. That's the Mercedes of Kimberly Rogers just ahead, but no, at that time, Ralph managed to get past quite cleanly.
Yeah, at least this time around there's not huge. Oh, and he makes a contact with who was that in the Ferrari? That is David Ayres.
Yeah, we always said that there could be a incident with the anyone ahead, and that one was it was a slightly odd one, almost to say as saw Cullinan coming, left the room, but then kind of closed it. It was a very long way back from Cullinan, so yeah, I think each driver will be blaming each other there, but now 10 seconds behind Dillman or Cullinan, that's really not helped him.
Yeah, it's those things that some mixed signals there. Like, are you going to give a room or not? So I will still maybe put that mistake down to Cullinan, because he was really far back, and at that point you might as well just wait for the next straight. You have easy way to overtake with the boost.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree on that one. It was a really long way back, and it's not a massive braking zone either there, so it's not as though you can go for a dive bomb. It was, yeah, really should have just stayed in behind, and it's cost him plenty of time. Owen Broughton Grant now half a second behind John Watson. Both these two have had really good pace at times during this event, but both have failed to really convert it into any top 2 finishes. I think Watson got a 3rd place last time round, and Adams was going to win the first race, but then had to pit with a lap to go to put in a little bit more fuel, and then got taken out in the second race. So both these two will want to take this 3rd position.
Yeah, it will also be interesting to see if everyone is doing their strategy correctly, because I think last week at the 3rd race, yeah, we had issues where people were running out of fuel on the last lap, so they definitely don't want to repeat that.
Yeah, the difficulty is you got to, well, certainly in that last race, it was a lap counter, and of course these GT3s are going to be lapped kind of 5 or 6 times by the leaders, and you got to really judge it on that. And also you can kind of be forced to do an extra lap even in these timed races, and you know, you don't want to put it in any extra fuel than you need to, especially when it's this close. And yeah, Adam will be hoping not to make the same error as earlier on.
Yes, and usually you can avoid that situation just by staying on top of your fuel situation. You can really save a lot of fuel just by taking it a bit easy into the corners. But you know, if you're battling hard like Adam and John here, you're just not going to pay attention to at all to your fuel situation.
That was a Lee DMAC just going past those two. And once again, Adam just a little bit too far back. Didn't get a brilliant exit from that corner. Closes up in the braking zone. Gets a decent run through that one. And might be close enough here. He's got to be fully alongside really to go for the move. I think he's just going to have to slot in behind, but he can smell a chance of a third position here, can Adam. Closing right in. This is a chance down into the final corner, but just slots in behind again. Needs to absolutely nail this exit. Just a little bit of a wiggle there. John Watson just about looks okay, but here comes Adam. Will he go for the inside? No. And even if you do get a good run coming out of that turn one, you're just going to have to stick behind going through these next couple of corners until you get back onto the back straight, because it's really no way through around here. Very much single file.
Yeah, exactly. And when you don't have the push to pass, you kind of need to have a great run out the corner or wait for a mistake. What has happened to Scott Malcolm? He's
Yeah, seems to have a
extremely
big
slow.
issue.
Let's take a look at the replay.
I went
So
on the
he's coming through at
grass.
the last final corner, went off wide. I don't see any
He
issues
is now
there.
back up to speed.
Okay.
So maybe a hardware issue for him. Maybe, I know, maybe his equipment just laying him down there and him having to adjust something. But seems to be back up to speed now. But he's 3.5 seconds behind Anthony Jacobson, who he had built a little lead over. So that must be really frustrating for Scott.
Yeah, possibly something with the steering, because we could see that he was testing the steering, waving back and forth on the straight, and maybe that caused the off track in the final corner. And we have David Ayres in the pits. Yes.
Would just be a scheduled stop. This got plenty of time on his hands. He's got a lap or two on his nearest rivals, Carl Hardy and Mick Barry. So David will come out. Would prefer not to be around any GT3s. Just behind Max Wright. But yeah, it's not too bad for David, and just needs to make sure he brings the car home from here. And Ralph Cullinan actually in as well.
Yeah, exactly. That seems like a schedule stop. Should be no problem there. I think we will see Dalman coming in soon as well. Let's see,
Yeah,
Dalman is on the back half, yeah. Okay, Dalman coming into the traffic, and let's see, does he pull in? No, that is Kimberly Rogers coming in for his pit stop, for the pit stop.
Let's see if John Watson or Adam Broughton Grant come in. Neither of them do. And Kimberly, I think, just exiting. No, still stationary is Kimberly. Should be. Scott Malcolm had a 12-second stop, and Kimberly just stationary for a little longer, 15 seconds, but had such a lead before that I think gonna hold on to the lead quite comfortably. Adam Broughton Grant now right on the tail of John Watson. Hasn't been able to find a way past so far. Just a little bit far off. He kind of needs an air from John Watson if he's going to have any chance, and he's not really going to stand any chance come the end of this back straight.
But they still both have their pit stops to do, so I think this might be a battle that will be resolved on the pit lane. And Adam really closing in on the braking.
I think that's Wolf just coming through. The only Audi out there.
Yep.
Really close now. Really, Adam just needs to do the opposite of... Oh, he's nearly got the inside there. He's right on his back bumper. Really look for the inside here. No. Maybe just thinks he's going to come in on this lap. Let's see if either of them do. And yeah, it's John Watson into the pit. And he's going to absolutely have to nail this outlap. Otherwise, he's going to be easily overtaken by Adam.
Yeah, well, considering the pace Adam had, we might be seeing John Watson losing that position. But we'll see. Adam is running pit wide there, and he also has lap traffic coming up. So we'll see.
Quite a quick stop there for John Watson though, 12.1 seconds. Every little will help him out in this battle. He's everything he can possibly get. And Adam not too far behind Richard Warmingham. And yeah, maybe we're going to have a three-way battle soon. Adam just a tenth faster on that lap, 2 seconds behind Richard. And just needs to absolutely nail every corner here. We suspect he'll probably come in on this lap. He'll stay out if he possibly can, but I doubt his fuel's going to last that long. We've got about 10 more minutes to go in this race. Been a pretty clean lap from Adam.
Yeah, Dalman is also coming in for his pit stop and just about to leave. So no issues there. And where is Cullenham? That is comfortable lead for Dalman. And Warmingham coming just behind Rolf just. So let's see if that had any effect. And where is Adam? Adam is carrying on the track. Well, and off the track as well.
Yeah, Richard needs a sub 15-second pit stop here, otherwise he might be under pressure from John Watson. He gets away now, 12.5, so good pit stop there for Richard. And I don't think John's going to really be anywhere near. No, John's only just going into the final corner.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, we do have Max Wright. He is currently running third position in GT3s, and who's David Ayres taking the white line. But carries on. But yeah, Max Wright still hasn't done his pit stop. We'll see where he comes out in red to Watson, Jacobson and Malcolm.
Yeah, Adam brought some Grant. We expect him to come in on this lap, although we've been saying that a couple of times now. Richard Warmingham wasn't too far ahead of him last time, and he's now into the pits now, is Adam. So we gotta nail this one. Goes in deep and just about gets it stopped. And he's got such an early pit stall, doesn't he? Had to come in at such an angle, and that's really a disadvantage for him.
And he hits the pit building on his way out.
I don't think he actually... No, he did stop 10 seconds. It was a really quick stop there for Adam. But I really think that pit stall's cost him. Here comes Richard. It's going to be really guys. Richard just ahead, and that pit stall was the difference between the two of them. So Richard Warmingham into second position again. Adam Broughton Grant into third in the GT3s.
Yeah, that was really awkward. I've never seen anything like that. It's just like imagine going there with your LMP. You would never get out.
Yeah.
Oh, and contact. And I'm brought on Grant runs in the back of Richard Warmingham under braking. Small contact there, but I don't think it's gonna cause huge issues. David Ayres coming behind them as well, but that is different class.
Yeah, John Watson now 8 seconds behind these two. So remember John was ahead of Adam before the stops. So he's lost a lot of time. It wasn't a bad pit stop from John, but must have just had a bit of a poor outlap. But he's still quite comfortable in that P4 in the GT3s.
And also less than stellar pit stop for Max Wright. He's all the way down to basically last of the GT3s on this lap, aside from Luke Clark, who is just 12. How many laps down? 2 laps down, I think. But that was
Is that
long,
Luke Clark?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
But that-
think, yeah, 2 or 3 laps down.
yeah, that was a long stop for Max Wright. But so far it seems like everything is going according to plan for Kimberly Rogers. That is a 5-second gap over Richard. David Ayres third, but that's not really an issue because David is driving in the GTE category.
Yeah, Richard closed down a little bit during the pit stop sequence. The gap had gone up to about 7 seconds, back down to 5. But it's not really that close. I think Kimberly's got this one in the pocket, really. David S. looking for the move against Richard Warmingham. The problem for Richard is that he can't afford to go offline because Adam will be straight past if he does so. So he's just got to make sure that he doesn't lose any more time than necessary. And Adam really closing in on these two. Ez doesn't need to go for the move. He's he's a lap clear of second place in his class, so he can just stick behind and not lose any positions.
And another case here for Richard is that he needs to be sure that if he lets David Ayres pass him, then he needs to be sure that David Ayres is much faster than him and doesn't hold up, because he needs to be able to chase down Kimberly Rogers. There's still that is only 4.5 minutes, so I don't know if that's enough time to catch up that 5 seconds, but we'll see. It only takes a small mistake from Rogers. The Ayres really close here, and this might be the move.
Yeah, go watch out for the LMP1. Oh, I thought Ez was going to go out into the into that little bit of free track. Problem for Ez is they slower down the straights. It's going to be under. Well, in fact, the LMP1 I think just lost a bit of boost there. Who was that? That's Bart Delman, our race leader.
That's our leader,
I think he's got an issues. Delman, yeah, he's only 4 seconds clear of Cullinan. He was over 15 seconds clear at one point, so he just squeezes through there. But what on earth is happening to Bart Delman?
Yeah, trying to listen to on board if there's any issues here, but
spinner. Warming him round.
oh, where was that? Oh, he got a little bit help from Ayres.
Yeah, just misjudged the braking zone, I think.
Yeah. And I think that really gave the win to Rogers. It doesn't seem
Here
like...
comes Cullinan.
Uh-huh.
Cullinan going for the lead, and past he goes. So Ralph Cullinan takes the lead of this race from absolutely nowhere. Bart Delman with a major issue, and you know what? He's going to be under pressure from Lee Dima if he's not careful. He was 7.5 seconds slower than his LMP rivals on that last lap.
Yes,
So,
at this pace he will lose the position to leader. I'm trying to look back if I can see what has happened to Delman.
it's just as though he has no straight line speed.
Yeah, he went off track. No issues there. You know what? It seems like he has small damage to the front right, and that might be enough to just cost him the top speed.
So frustrating for Bart Delman. He won the first race in a really tightly contested battle and was leading the second race as well, but made an error in the traffic, and he seems to have made an error once again to cause that damage that Sam just mentioned. And seems like he's going to lose another race victory, but can he keep this second place? He's 12 seconds clear of Lee Dima, who did not have a good lap that last time round, so he might just be safe, you know.
I would expect the lead Emer to be now pushing hard, hitting those 1 minute 10 second lap times. Whereas it seems like part time and he is only hitting to 1 minute 17, so at this pace I think he is going to get overtaken, and with having no top line speed, there's just no chance to fight back. Let's just compare the top line speeds here. Cullinan 264 kilometers per hour and Delman 241. So that's massive difference. Deemer 270. So that's the 30 kilometers per hour he is missing compared to Deemer. And he is actually slower than GT3s and GTEs. And I would bet, yes, he is currently slowest car in terms of top speed.
Yeah, that's going to be really difficult for Bart Delman. Then we've got 2 more laps to go, I believe. So Lee Deemer, he's going to catch him 5 seconds faster on that last lap, and the gap at the beginning of this lap was 8 seconds. So he should just get there in time. And Bart Delman just a sitting duck.
Yeah, that's easily, because now it's down to 6 seconds, and by the end of this lap, Lee Deemer will be all over Dalman. And I don't think Dalman will be able to push for much of a fight.
Really calm down in your GT3 field. Kimberley still leading by 5.6 seconds over Adam Oulton Grant. Richard Warmingham a further 7 seconds behind. John Watson a further 10 seconds behind. Then another half a minute to Scott Malcolm. And another 15 seconds to Max Wright. But so this battle for second in the LMP1s is the one that we are going to be watching. 4 seconds between the two of them now. Lee Deemer chasing down Bart Delman. And if he can just get in range come the back straight on this final lap now, he's going to really fancy his chances of the second place.
Yeah, it was a slightly slow lap for Lee Deemer, but now he can already see Dalman up front, in front of him, and I think by the next time we are on the straight, he's going to make the move for second place. And that's Max Wright in front of him.
Oh, I lost a little bit of time, didn't he?
Yeah, only slightly, but I don't think that's a major issue here. 1.5 seconds. 1 second.
Yeah, just stay clear here. Ralph Cullinan coming across the line, but here comes Lee Deemer coming past, and he's got him into second place. Ralph Cullinan wins this third race of the evening, and Lee Deemer I think is going to take home second place with Bart Delman just trailing behind. Just about managed to get the job done. Did Lee Deemer comes up to the line now, and yeah, brilliant job from Lee Deemer to make up that gap.
And in the GT3s we have Kimberly Rogers with a solid 5 second gap over Adam Grant, coming to take the win in the third race.
David Ayres,
very strong race.
David Ayres in the GTE coming across the line, really unchallenged out there. His rivals Carl Hardy and Mick Barry having issues. So a simple race victory for David Ayres. I think that's his second of the night, so successful night for him. And John Watson just coming home in third in that GT3 class. And we should also mention Roy Viverke as well. Only Porsche out there all night, but credit to him. He's kept out there, raced on it by himself, but was no danger to the other cars whatsoever. So good from him. I don't think he had a single incident all race, so yeah, good job by him.
Yeah, let's just hope that next week he gets some company, because otherwise it's going to be a very lonely season for him. Right, I think we can go over the final standings.
So Ralph Cullinan comes home with the race victory, was 20 seconds behind the race leader at one point, but managed to take the lead with just 3 laps to go. Lee Deemer gets second place with just on that final lap on Bart Delman. We didn't see Delman's issue, but we saw he had damage to the front of his car, and that was costing him about 5 seconds a lap for the second half of the race. Rolf just his third, fourth position of the day. Give credit to him, he kept it clean up there, and despite not being quite on pace with the top three, he still gets some solid points for the championship. Kimberly Rod just absolutely dominant in the GT3 class. Adam Broughton Grant, good job from him. He started quite far down the field in 18th position, but comes home 6th overall, second in GT3s. David Ayres, unchallenged in the GTEs, wins that race. Richard Warmingham in third in the GT3s, John Watson fourth. It's got Malcolm fifth, Max Wright sixth, Roy Valverde, only Porsche up there, so he wins that class. Carl Hardy in second place in the GTE, followed by Mick Barry in third in the GTEs. And then in seventh place in the GT3s, Luke Clark, eighth, Anthony Jacobson, ninth, Jim Flanagan, and rounding out the field, Colin Robinson, who I think had an instant early on and only completed a couple of laps.
Yeah, I don't think he completed any laps at all. According to my time units, he did not even take the start. So maybe that would have also been an issue on the first lap and then retired from there.
Yeah, disappointing for Colin because he's had pace all day, but just hasn't been able to show it, had an issue in each of the races, so disappointing for Colin. We're hoping to get a couple of interviews, if possible, with the drivers.
I'm looking at, and it doesn't seem like there's anyone, at least just yet, but we can quickly take a look at the season. Where are we next week, do you remember?
I'm not quite sure, actually.
Okay, I got it. I think, yeah, we are at the Nürburgring GP.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one, because this week the LMP drivers have had some practice, as well as the GTEs and GT3s. Because this week in Le Mans Series it was running on the Nürburgring GP. And after that we are headed to Zolder, Imola, Monza. So rest of the season looks pretty good for these cars. I don't see any weird tracks like this week.
Now that's good to see. I think Nürburgring, like you said, a lot more appropriate for these cars. Also a little bit longer. So in those 20-minute races, we should only see one. We should only see the GT3s go one lap down rather than the 3. I think it was today. Really did cause quite a bit of mayhem, and of course a bit wider as well.
Yeah, it's about 1 minute 40 with the LMPs, so about 30 seconds longer. So it's not a huge difference, but it will at least spread out the field a little bit. But it seems like we are not getting anyone for the interviews, so I think we are done for tonight.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us for this BSR IMSA Grand Tour series. We'll be back next Sunday night. I think tomorrow we've got World GT, haven't we? So be sure to tune into that. Should be another really good meeting. And yeah, we'll see you next week.